Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to make the high school cheer team. So, the first thing that I'm going to be talking to you about is the tryout process. Usually, tryouts will start on Monday and end on Friday. So, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those are usually the tryout clinic days. And on those days, on Monday, they'll teach you the dance. On Tuesday, they'll teach you the cheer. And then on Wednesday, they'll go over all of that, like everything you learned, the dance and the cheer. And then they'll also start teaching you jumps that you'll have to do. Also on Wednesday, that's when you pick your tryout number. And my tryout number for last year was 5. Thursday is mock tryouts, and that's pretty much a tryout that doesn't count. So just so you get the feel of what tryouts is like. So Friday is the actual tryout day, and that's when you actually have to wear what they tell you to wear. Usually it's a sports bra, a white shirt, a white bow, and black pants. So I'm going to be showing you. This is usually what you should wear on tryouts. Like, I'm just wearing Sophie shorts, and I'm wearing Spanx under them. And a lot of people, they may want to wear Nike Pros, but it's kind of bad to wear Nike Pros because you're sometimes like having to pull them down a lot. And judges, they will deduct off points if you do that. So it's just best to wear something that's more comfortable. And a white shirt. For most schools, it's usually a white shirt and black pants and white cheer shoes, that's what I have on, and a white bow. But it may be different for your school, so just make sure that you follow whatever rules that they say because they will deduct off points. Also, if they make a point to say wear all black shorts, make sure that they're completely black and plain. Make sure they don't have like any red designs or anything because they could deduct off points for that too. Usually on Friday, which is the tryout day, they have you all meet up in like usually the gym. And they go over the process for you and they tell you what you have to do. First, you have to spirit in, which is pretty much when you say, go Bulldogs, and have you do your jumps first. So you'll go to a certain spot in the gym, and then you'll do your jump in front of the judges. And then usually they'll have you do a toe touch and then an optional jump or a connected jump. Like you have to do some sort of connected jump, and usually a toe touch is a requirement. Make sure that if you do get an option on what jumps you do, make sure that you pick your highest jump. The jumps that I chose were a toe touch, a hurdler, and a pike was required. So after you do your jumps, they usually have you do running tumbling. And for every single year that I tried out except last year, they had us do it on a blue mat, like it was a blue rollout mat. And there were no springs in it. It was dead floor. So I just did a tuck. Last year, they had us do our trials on the gym floor, which most schools don't do this. The only reason why my school required it last year was because most people weren't throwing their tumbling at games and stuff, so they want to make sure that you can do it on all surfaces because during basketball season, they don't roll the mats out for you to tumble, and we usually have to tumble during half times or timeouts during basketball season. And then football season, we just tumble whenever. And so they just want to make sure that you can tumble without a mat. And so I just did front handspring, round off, 3 back handsprings, I think. That's just because I'm afraid to throw tucks or layouts on gym floor, so I just did some back handspring. So after you do your running tumbling, they usually have you do standing tumbling. So after you do your running tumbling, they usually have you do your standing tumbling. You can either do a back handspring, multiple back handsprings, a back handspring to a back tuck, or just a standing back tuck. And I will go over how tumbling is scored later in this video. So after you do your standing tumbling, they usually have you do your cheer. And in the cheer, they're checking for memorization and motions and technique. When you do the cheer, they're checking to make sure that your motions are correct. So if you're supposed to do a high V, they want to make sure that your hands are positioned the right way. Like you don't want to be like this or like that. Like they usually check for just proper motions and technique. So after you do your cheer, that's the end of the individual tryout. So then the next part, they usually have at least 3 people go into the gym at a time, and then you do dance. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is appearance. Your school should give you some type of form that tells you what you should wear and how you should look. And for makeup, you don't want to wear too much makeup, like clown makeup. You can wear foundation and blush, and you can wear eyeliner, mascara, and all that. And for lipstick, you can do red lipstick if you want to. Now the next thing is how you wear your hair. You can just usually do a high ponytail, and you have to wear a bow in it. Most schools require that you do. Also, make sure that you have no jewelry, no earrings, belly button rings, necklaces, bracelets, none of that, because they will deduct off points in tryouts. Also, make sure that you have a plain white shirt with no designs or colors on it. And You can usually put your number like right here so it doesn't get in the way. Also wear black shorts and white cheer shoes. Next I'm going to be moving on to tumbling. So the way that tumbling is scored in my school is running tumbling is worth 10 points and then standing tumbling is worth 5 points. So you get 2 points if you can do a round off back handspring. You get 4 points if you can do round off multiple back handsprings, which is 2 or more. Then you get 6 points if you can do a round off back handspring back tuck. You get 8 points if you can do a round off back handspring back layout. And you get all 10 points if you can do a round off back handspring full. Also for tumbling, they're not only looking at the skill that you throw, they're also looking for how you execute it. So if you land it sloppily, then they'll probably deduct off points. And for standing tumbling, usually the way they do it at my school is if you do a standing back handspring, that could either be 1 or 2 points. It just depends on how well you execute it. And if you do standing 2 or more back handsprings, that's 3 points. If you do back handspring back tuck, then that's 4 points. And if you can do a standing back tuck, then that's 5 points. Also, if you want to know how to do certain skills for trials, I have plenty of tutorials. So I know I have a round off back handspring video, a standing back handspring video. I have plenty of tumbling videos. So just go and click my channel and go watch them all. For jumps, they usually have you do 3 jumps. And sometimes you can choose your own jumps, but sometimes they'll require that you do certain jumps. I also have a video on how to do certain jumps. It teaches you all the jumps that you can do in cheerleading and how to execute them properly and also how you can improve them for trials. So just click the link below and you can watch the video. Now for the dance, make sure that you're really sharp because they also check for motions and techniques in the dance too, as well as the cheer and your jumps. So just make sure that you're really sharp and your motions are straight. And also make sure that you smile the entire time throughout the dance, and you can make facial expressions too because that'll make you stand out a lot. Also, make sure that you're familiar with your ripple because sometimes they teach you both ripples at trials, and then the ripple that you do depends on whatever number you get. So maybe if you have an odd number, like 1, 3, 5, 7 or something like that, then you'll have a certain ripple to do. But if you have an even number, like 2, 4, and 6, then you'll have a different part. So make sure that you're familiar with both parts. And if you mess up a motion or you forget, just keep going. Make sure that you don't show it on your face. For the cheer, make sure that you know the words and that you're hitting your motions on the words. The next tip is spiriting. Make sure that you know your mascot and your school name and your colors of your school before you try out because those will definitely help you with spiriting. But some ideas that you could say for spiriting is go Bulldogs or go Maroon and Gold, or you could say go and then whatever you could say go and then whatever your school name is. You could say, we're number 1, or something like that. Also, when you're spiriting, make sure that you don't say, woo, or anything like that, because they will deduct all points for that, because cheerleaders are not supposed to say that. So I hope that this video helps you with your trials. Make sure that you comment below when your trials are, and also comment if you made the team.